I'm John Quigley, President and CEO of the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry. For 100 years and counting, we've promoted an environment that creates success for local businesses and our community. Nearly 600 members strong, we are the voice of business in Elmhurst at all levels of government and a liaison to our residents, consumers, and tourists.
Since 1982.
1981.
1993.
1948.
Since 1955.
1892.
1991.
Since 1986.
1871.
We're here to help our customers' lives go right.
We put our customers and community first.
And innovation and relocation for 2 generations.
Serving our community more than just great meals.
We create innovation in glass and metals.
We permanently solve your IRS problems.
4 generations of family dedication, forever invested in you.
We keep families rolling safely down the road.
For generations, we've helped students reach their full potential.
4 generations of serving the best Bohemian cuisine.
Make that 5.
So make today the day that you become a valued addition to our award-winning chamber, whether as a new member or via reactivation. Contact our office by phone at 630-834-6060 or email info@elmhurstchamber.org to learn about what's in it for you. Be a part of our next 100 years.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you very much for joining us to celebrate the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry's 100th Awards Gala. I am Julie Miller-Sheehan, the proud chairwoman of the Centennial Celebration Committee, and I'm very excited to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for this sold-out crowd tonight. Our committee definitely had some daunting goals to achieve in 2018, and tonight will be a beautiful celebration of not only meeting those goals, but exceeding them. Not only did the Chamber of Commerce celebrate 100 years, two other cornerstones of Elmhurst did as well, York High School and the American Legion. A representative of the Legion will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. Please welcome Bill Shanklin from the Elmhurst American Legion, Post 187.
Please stand. But before we say the pledge, and I know I speak for the American Legion, we'd like to congratulate the Chamber on a great 100-year anniversary. We sent our scouts out to watch what you're doing because this year we're going to be celebrating our 100th, so hopefully we can have an equally good year. So September 26, 1919, we had a charter here in Elmhurst. So we've been in the community serving our veterans and our community for 100 years. So we're looking forward to a great year, and congratulations again. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill. One of the foundations of America is not only small business, but also family-owned small businesses, both of which are very prevalent in Elmhurst. Algrim Funeral Home is a perfect example of a multi-generational small business here in Elmhurst. Please welcome its owner, Scott Algrim, to give our invocation tonight.
Before I give the invocation, I think we should take a page from what John Quigley always says. You know, he's led the chamber now for over 20 years, and let's give a good round of applause to John Quigley. And I wanted to let him know, too, I was not going to be praying that the chamber give him any back pay for all the overtime he's put in over these last 20 years. Let us be in an attitude of prayer. Our gracious Lord, as we celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we thank you for the many men and women who have given so much of themselves over the decades to make the Chamber what it is today. We are grateful for a Chamber that fosters a local business environment that promotes cooperation and success. In gratitude for the many blessings we have received, challenge, encourage, and remind us to share our time, our talent, and our treasures with the organizations within our community that help those who face uncertainty or hardship when it comes to providing food and shelter for their families, things that we too often take for granted. And now, Lord, may you bless the hands that prepared this food, bless this food for our use, and please bless us to your service. Amen.
Thank you, Scott. Our next speaker really needs no introduction, but he gets one anyway. John Quigley has been involved with the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry for over 30 years through serving as a director, volunteering at Elmfest before taking the helm himself, and even commanding the grills at Steak Fries. Please welcome the longest tenured president and CEO of any chamber in our area, John Quigley.
Please give my first intern as Chamber President and CEO a great round of applause, Julie Miller. I saw something in her back then, and it certainly turned out to be good. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Chamber's Party of the Century. For my annual State of our Chamber address, I can report, in all modesty, that 2018 ranks as the most significant in the 100 years since some 60 prominent businessmen and residents gathered in H.O. Stevens' home to create the fledgling Elmhurst Boosters Club, the forerunner to the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I know of no peer chamber of our size and scope, and staffing limitations, I might add, that has accomplished all that we have during our centennial celebration year. Our once-in-a-lifetime $250,000 capital campaign has been a success thanks to many of you here tonight, not the least of which is Board Treasurer Ralph Pachanio, whose generosity first established our Student Intern Endowment Fund at Elmhurst College and then pushed us beyond our $150,000 goal. Give Ralph a great round of applause. Work on our capital campaign began in earnest late in 2016 with Charity Algram as the first donor, I may note, and first unveiled, yeah, I'll give Charity a nice round of applause. It's always nice when they just hand you a check and you don't have to ask for the check. And first unveiled at our 98th Annual Awards Gala in January of 2017. The $50,000 educational component of our $100,000 Second Century Fund has exceeded its goal, while fundraising to build a public civic Hall of Fame memorial will continue for the next couple of years to match the construction timeline for its new home in the new $18 million Metro train station in downtown Elmhurst. Give that a nice round of applause. By the way, the city of Elmhurst has already raised $16.4 million towards that and is working to raise the rest of it, so hopefully it will require no taxpayer money to build that new train station. Great job by the city of Elmhurst. Give Mayor Morley and the aldermen a great round of applause. I might note that your financial support for any or all of those capital campaign causes is still encouraged and certainly welcomed. Later tonight, one lucky ticket will be drawn from our year-long centennial celebration Split the Pot raffle. It started out this evening at $4,000. Hopefully it's been growing, of course, the evening. Buy tickets before I'm done here, and we will pick a ticket midway through our program and announce the winner at the end of the program. In partnership with the Elmhurst Suburban Life and Shaw Media, we produced a 2-minute promotional video highlighting a selection of 10 multi-chamber generational family businesses and or long-term chamber members. Tony's going to run that video up there. We're not doing it with sound. You can view it now. I'm going to continue with my speech. When you see this program on Elmhurst, Our Kind of Town, they have the video and we'll show it either before or inserted in the program. You can go to our website to view it, but we wanted to at least have it up on the screen while I'm chattering away. Also, we created a unique board game, Elmhurstopoly, selling our 74 sponsorship opportunities in only 2 weeks' time. Of a production run of 1,000 games, nearly 500 have already been sold, shared, or donated since last July. And just this week, we paid the state of Illinois more than $500 in retail sales taxes on our sales, and the city will be getting some of that. So give that a nice round of applause. All right, raise your hand. How many of you own an Elmhurstopoly game? Oh, I think I just sold another 50 games. Thank you. Yeah, coming in's free. Leaving is, you have to have an Elmhurstopoly game to get out tonight. In preparation for our 100th anniversary year, we had designed a new logo featuring a 6-color elm leaf and developed a new responsive website for users coming to our location. And thanks to a donation from the Elmhurst Independent, based on member advertising revenue from their special 100th anniversary section published during Chamber of Commerce Month last September, all of you here will take home a commemorative Centennial Celebration pin. If you haven't already grabbed it, put it on. We want to see it on you tonight. It's a great pin. Thank you to the Elmhurst Independent for that. Give them a nice round of applause. In recognition of our accomplishments, the Daily Herald Business Ledger named our chamber as the only 2018 winner of an annual award for business excellence within the category of business organization and economic development entity. And they also were nice enough to honor yours truly as a C-Suite Executive Award winner for 2018. Go ahead and give those a nice round of applause. While it is my good fortune to serve as the face of our organization, if you could call this a face, thank you. At least there was one person, and it was my board chair. It was my board chair who laughed at that too. Thank you. Both of those recognitions are a direct reflection on the hard work and dedication of our board of directors, executive committee, standing committees, ambassadors, members at large, and volunteers. Thanks. And please give yourselves a round of applause. That was a nice lukewarm round of applause for you. So, yeah, save the big stuff for later. In late 2018, our board of directors, with input from both the membership and Ways and Means committees, adopted a 3-tiered annual investment schedule plus 2 sponsorship packages to replace our old employee-based dues structure. And during the fourth quarter of 2018, a dozen new members joined under the tiered dues. Another member reactivated, and several of our existing members have already shifted over to tiered dues, as will be any of our members' choice at any time during this year or the years to come. Despite an unanticipated 3-month gap in staffing, chamber membership grew in 11 of 12 months during 2018 and in 13 of the past 14 months altogether. We accomplished all of this while both understaffed and shorthanded. Kim Kurzak joined our office as office manager in early July, and Mariela Mastro-Moro took over as Director of Member Services in mid-October. During Chamber of Commerce Month last September, our board, with input from the Governmental Affairs Committee, endorsed Elmhurst Community Unit School District 205's $168.5 million referendum on the November 6th midterm election ballot. The referendum, with our endorsement, passed with better than 60% of the vote. That is a nice accomplishment. Our 2019 Elmhurst Community Directory, there's copies at each of the table, published in partnership with Shaw Media and the Elmhurst Suburban Life, is being every door direct mailed, delivered to some 19,200 Elmhurst residences, businesses, and post office boxes this month. We actually followed up with the post office today because we knew the bad weather made it difficult for the postal guys to make the deliveries, but they are going out, and if you haven't gotten it already, you will be getting it this week or next. During my chamber tenure, first representing Elmhurst College, my beloved alma mater, and now for 2 decades as president and CEO, member advocacy at every level of government has been an integral component of our mission to promote an environment that creates success for local businesses and our community. While actively engaged in processes relating to economic development policies and business-relevant legislation issues, we have opposed taxes and regulations that burden businesses and supported fiscally responsible strategies for business investment and job growth. Here in Elmhurst, we have supported an array of economic development initiatives that, in the long run, have proven beneficial to our residents, consumers, visitors, tourists, businesses, and our municipality. And we will continue to endorse the city's use of tax increment financing districts, public-private partnerships, retail sales tax abatements, and business development grants as economic development tools. Just last week, our chamber was among many chambers across the country that joined the U.S. Chamber in signing on to a letter that went to our Congress and the President saying we need an end to this government shutdown, and I'm happy to report they caved to the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the shutdown is over. I don't know what I can do 3 weeks from now, but. And finally, I want to acknowledge all of you here today and the hundreds of other members who loyally support and their steadfast commitment to our chamber has earned us the respect of government, residents, and our peers, and on behalf of myself and all the years I've been involved with this Chamber of Commerce, whether representing Elmhurst College or as your president and CEO, I am eternally grateful for the support you give us on a regular basis, and in particular for our 100th anniversary year. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you very much, John. I am pleased to introduce our next speaker, who is another pillar of our community. He has provided his time and knowledge to several organizations, institutions, and service clubs here in Elmhurst, as well as hosted and commentated for a number of programs and shows on Elmhurst, Our Kind of Town, and for Elmhurst events. Please welcome a 39-year veteran of our Chamber of Commerce and the owner of Ken Bartels Consulting, and most importantly, our chairman of the board for 2018.
First, you know it's a distinguished group when she says pillar of the community and half the room starts to get up. So let me first say, before I say anything else, that the Chamber is immensely grateful for all of your attendance here tonight. Many of you were here a year ago, and we talked about all the things we were going to accomplish. And as John just outlined, we accomplished nearly every one of them, with the exception of the Civic Hall of Fame, and quite frankly, that will still get done. And so the Chamber and its board, my Centennial Board for the past year, is extremely grateful for all of you. Your donors, those of you who are donors, Chamber members, people who are involved, this Chamber and this community have a outstanding and wonderful relationship, and tonight's attendance and the support of this event is certainly indicative of that. I have just a few moments to talk about the centennial year from my perspective, and John covered the campaign and the tiered dues and the Elmhurstopoly. He didn't mention the outstanding board, which is many of which are present in the room, and I would ask all the board members to please stand for your recognition, please. The Chamber board members. I particularly want to note the executive committee, Kevin Cost, who you will meet in just a moment, who was first vice chair, Lori Murray, who will also be honored tonight as second vice chair, Ralph Paccianio, who's already been introduced to you, and Tim Gurry, who was past chairman. Personally, my year as board chairman was great fun. It was fascinating in many ways, and it was a true privilege and honor. It was simply amazing, and I thank all of you for the opportunity. Moving forward, Kevin Cost is already doing a wonderful job and is taking this chamber into its second 100 years with style and great attention to detail. It's a true pleasure to work with him and to continue on with the chamber board. So thank you all very much. I have a few awards to make. Actually, two more than in your program, but they'll be short. First, awards for outgoing chamber board members. These are board members who have gone beyond for years and have concluded their service on the board. Three of them are here this evening, and I would ask that they come to the stage so John and I can present them with their recognition. And the first of those would be Mark Daniel.
I was just concerned with his height. That's all.
Thank you, Mark. The second of which would be Tim Gurry. My wrist doesn't move like that. And the last outgoing director is Julie Miller-Sheehan. The annual Chairman's Award, I had the ability to choose Lori Murray, our second vice chairman, now first vice chairman. She led the discussions and the considerable debate over the tiered dues that John mentioned as chair of the membership committee. And after that task, I asked her if she would continue on this year as first vice chair, but stay with the membership committee so that we can make sure this program works as well as we think it's going to. So Lori is a wonderful professional, very dedicated to the chamber, and I am delighted to award her the Chairman's Award for 2018.
Thank you, John and Ken. I'm very humbled for this award this evening. I was told to keep it just to a couple minutes, or John will start singing to cut me off since we don't have a band. So I'll try to keep it low. But I'm very humbled to be a part of the Elmhurst Chamber. We really have a good chamber. I've been a part of the board for, I think, 4 or 5 years now, and the board members past and present that I've worked with are true professionals in their own right, people I admire very much. And they really care about this community and want to make sure Elmhurst stays the thriving community that it is. So thank you to all of you, and I'm glad to be able to call you friends. I do want to thank Inland Bank because I am grateful. I've been working for Inland 7 years this week, and they have supported all my endeavors and supported me in every way. And we have a culture as a company that encourages all of us to get out in our communities and make sure that we are a part of it, and so I'm very proud to be a part of that. And I also lastly want to thank my family. They come to me with everything, whether they're flipping pancakes for the Kiwanis or selling raffle tickets, and while I've been drinking wine and eating hors d'oeuvres with you guys at an after hours, they're at home eating pizza and leftovers when I can't be with them. So anyway, I love you both and thank you, but I'm very grateful for this award and I appreciate it. And for those of you who remember Chuck Thomas, who retired from the bank a few years ago, and I'd take over his board seat. I got a very nice email from him this week congratulating me, but he also wanted to make sure that I let everybody know congratulations to the Chamber on their 100 years, and so I appreciate this, and thank you.
The program says I'm supposed to be over, but that's not the case. I have 3 things left to do. The first thing is I want to thank the Community Bank of Elmhurst and Rich Reichert and Bill Gooch for the opportunity to serve the Chamber. Those of you who have been involved, and there are many, many of you in the room that have served in this role as well as other roles with the Chamber, you know that when your employer says, yes, you can do this, they're signing up for you to hopefully do a good job, but also they recognize that you'll be doing a lot of it on their time. And so I certainly want to thank the Community Bank of Elmhurst for that opportunity. And I simply have to acknowledge my wife, Marge, who allows me to be on these boards and do all these things and show up at all these events and MC things that I probably have no business emceeing. So please, if you would recognize not only the Community Bank, but Marge on my behalf, I would appreciate it. Okay, in a true understatement, a centennial year doesn't happen all the time. But when it does, you best have a leader who is prepared and who can make the things happen that need to happen so that you can celebrate and create milestone moments for your organization and for your community in this case. And fortunately, we had such a leader. She was on the board. She just left the board. But this is a pretty unique award. It's a plaque, but it's a unique plaque in that Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry Centennial Celebration Award of 2018 in recognition of special service to our Chamber's centennial year. This plaque awarded only once every 100 years. And it goes to Julie Miller Sheehan.
Every good MC knows you're not supposed to go off the script.
Too late.
Thank you very much. Completely. Very completely unexpected, but this is not a one-person show. It's the whole committee, and it's all of our supporters like you. So, thank you. And also a big thank you to my husband, Patrick, as my employer and husband, who also allows me to do all of the early morning meetings and the late night events. So thank you.
Sometimes when someone does his job, even exceptionally well, he's not recognized because it's his job. That's what we pay him for, right? And I get that. It's just not going to be the case this evening. John Quigley is a splendid chamber executive and was recognized as such this year. He has a skill set that I believe we often take for granted. He and I have known each other and worked together for decades, and I still am so very impressed with what he can do, what he knows, and how he continuously delivers for this chamber and its members. That was never more evident than during this centennial year that we celebrate tonight. So, John, as I conclude my remarks, Kevin and I have a gift for you from the Centennial Board Executive Committee, and we're delighted to present it to you. Please recognize Mr. John Quigley.
I just wanted to show you first. Speech? Are you serious? It's not bad enough we have the weather we have and we had to start late? We got a speech from me? How come it's not a skyline of Elmhurst? I've said this year after year, and I'll go back every month. My West Suburban Chamber Exec Group, which is most of the chambers in DuPage County and bordering chambers that hope to learn from how we do things and the way we do things, we meet every month. And every month, I am able to sit there and not listen to listen to their horror stories about their board, their members, and all the things that they struggle with. And I'm able to just sit back, and then they'll look over and they go, "But that doesn't happen to you in Elmhurst, does it, John?" And I'm happy to say it doesn't. I've had great members in this chamber from the moment I got involved with it, from Elmhurst College to the moment I became the president and CEO. And from the board members on down to the member who never comes to an event but sends their check in every year, year after year. And that includes the first two members I got to sign up back in 1999, Max Golden Pheasant and the head designer. I happen to be a faithful client of both locations. One more than the other. I'll leave you to guess which one that is. But I understand how fortunate. Before my predecessor, Tachi Taronis, came on board, this was a good, hardworking chamber, but it didn't have professional leadership and it didn't have a vision. And Tachi came on board in 1998, and he provided that leadership and that vision. And I mentored under him, I mentored under Ken Bartels, and I mentored under so many other people that when this opportunity came open, I took it, and I took it in part because somebody like Barb Savage was already on board, and I knew Barb could be my right hand the way I needed her to be my right hand. In my 20 years of running this chamber, I'm just starting with my third executive assistant. I had one for 11 years and one for 8 years. And that kind of continuity and dedication to this organization has allowed us to do everything we've done. And I thank you for support, and I thank Kevin and I thank Ken for the honor. I appreciate it. Julie, rescue me here.
Thank you, Ken, for those wonderful remarks and great surprises. Another foundation of a thriving community, and especially of a Chamber of Commerce, is seeking and encouraging talent, which our Chamber has found in our 2019 Board Chair, Kevin Kost. Please welcome Kevin Kost of Edward Jones. Kevin Kost.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you all so much for coming today in this frigid winter weather. We have a field trip planned after the award ceremony to where we can go and warm up our cars, so maybe by midnight we'll have some hot air blowing out of the vents. Just a little bit of quick story about my background with the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber has meant a heck of a lot to me over my almost 10 years now as a Chamber member. I remember back when I took over my office in 2009, Betsy Donofrio, who was the membership director at the time, popped into my office and she said, "Hey, you want to know about the Chamber? Do you want to come to an event one time?" Edward Jones itself is a very community-driven organization, and so I couldn't pass up the opportunity. I really joined primarily because I wanted to support the community, but I really got involved because after I've seen how well it was run by John and everybody on the board and all the different members, I dove headfirst as soon as I was a member. I was an ambassador and going to as many ribbon cuttings as I possibly could in the first year. I've been on the board now since 2013.
And for the last 3 years, I've hand-delivered over 3,000 welcome bags to every new resident in town as part of the Chamber of Commerce Greeter Tote program. Thank you. So the fact of the matter is that when I was asked to join the exec committee and start working my way up to the board chairman, I couldn't really say no because I feel so passionately about the organization. I want to take a quick minute to give some special thanks to a particular individual in the room. And that individual you've just heard a lot from, and that is Ken Bartels himself. Ken has always been almost a unofficial mentor of mine. I've always appreciated and respected all the hard work that he's put together in this community with all the different organizations that he has helped significantly. And throughout my years, anytime that I've had any questions, thoughts, or concerns about any organization that I've been a part of, I would shoot Ken an email or give him a quick call, and within a couple of days, we'd be having a lunch and talking about it all. So, Ken, I truly want to thank you all for all that you've done for the Chamber and all you've done for me. My last quick remarks, I guess, truly are about the future of the Chamber. You know, tonight the whole plan of the event is to celebrate all of our wonderful achievements in our centennial year. But one of the big parts about those achievements is that a lot of them were laying the foundation for the next 100 years, whether it be through the tiered dues structure and a number of the different things that we've worked on over the years. It really truly was laying a lot of the foundation in which our board for this year and the many years to come can truly build up off of to make sure that our next 100 years are as successful as our last. So I thank you all so much again for everyone coming. I appreciate all of your support, and I look forward to working with you more in the future. And I think I'm supposed to be handing a gavel to the past chairman.
I'm encouraging him. He said let it go, but you should let it go.
I'll come up with it.
Well, that sounds fine.
I think it's fair to say I'll always look up to Kevin.
Have a great night.
And next I'm going to ask John to return to the stage to present our Ambassador of the Year award. And again, John Quigley.
Oh, those darn raffle tickets. Trying to dog ear all of mine that are in there so I got a chance to win. We haven't pulled them yet. Yes, if they're buying 100 tickets, we'll wait. By the way, we're up to $4,350 worth, I think, right now. So, Ambassador of the Year. Fittingly, this year's Ambassador of the Year has been a long-time Ambassador of the Year. In fact, dating back to the start of Chamber Ambassadors during the Tachi Tironis era, when he brought that kind of professionalism to our Chamber. She is the third-time winner of the Ambassador of the Year award. And the program explains everything that's great about Betsy. I'll just tell you, Betsy's one of those unusual, unique individuals who contributes more of her time, energy, and money to countless causes. And we've been lucky that even though she retired from business quite some time ago, she's deemed our chamber important enough to stay as active as she can. Would you welcome our three-time Ambassador of the Year, Betsy Hanisch.
I had to walk around a little short for these the step over here. Good evening, and thank you, John, and the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry Board of Directors for this very special award. It has been my privilege to serve as an ambassador for 30 years to welcome new businesses to the Chamber. Our ribbon cuttings have also helped celebrate the successes and key anniversaries for longtime Chamber members, and we are very pleased to always come out, so let us know when you're having a big celebration. During my 34 years as a member of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I've enjoyed networking with local businesses, working with community leaders and charitable organizations. These opportunities have helped me to build lifelong friendships for which I am most grateful. Thank you again for this special honor.
Established in 1992, the Civic Hall of Fame recognizes important individuals in the life of our city, people who have changed Elmhurst with their energy, spirit, and contributions. Our 27th awardee joins an impressive list of past recipients, and as is our custom, I will read those names to you. Joe Newton, Eleanor King Hookham, Dr. Ivan E. Frick, Joseph Wagner, Jean Hazelhorst, Robert M. Magnuson, Virginia Harmon, Lee Daniels, A.J. Tachi Taronas, William Gooch Jr., Willis Johnson with us this evening. Willis, you want to take a wave, please? Fred Messerschmidt, Jim Van Ewick, Jackie Haddad, Thomas Myers Jr., Abner Gannett, Jan Pauli, Bob Schiller, Tom Marcucci, Rich Grodsky, Pete Kruger, also in the room. Pete, where are you? There we are, right there, yes, empty chair Pete. Yes. Doug Beach, Betsy Hainish. Betsy, you're here, obviously. Ralph Paccianio. Ralph, I know you're here as well. Daryl Whistler, and last year's awardee, Jack Island. Jack? Tonight we add a most talented woman, accomplished in multiple fields, to our Civic Hall of Fame. Jeannie Urich has impacted Elmhurst through the printed word, local cable television, and with her active community volunteerism. It's very fair to say that Jeannie has never allowed herself to be bottled up and has granted many good wishes to many individuals and groups over the years. I went over you. Jeannie, bottle, wish, never mind. I know, speaking personally, of her devotion to causes that she believes in, her professionalism in everything she does, and genuine friendliness in all her endeavors. Jeannie, please join me on the stage and please give her her first welcome. Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry Civic Hall of Fame, Jeannie Urich. Pioneering producer, appreciated author, faithful friend, dedicated to Elmhurst, presented at the Chamber's 100th Annual Awards Gala, January 25, 2019.
When I first came to Elmhurst, I was hired by School District 205 to teach at Conrad Fisher School. And if you fast forward a few years, I was hired again by Mayor Abner Gannett to be the cable television coordinator for the city and to produce the monthly Elmhurst Our Kind of Town programs. Over the years, I've learned that you can accomplish a lot of good things if you work together and if you don't care who gets the credit. So on behalf of my crew, who helped me make a positive impact on Elmhurst by recording Elmhurst history on videotape, I will accept the award and I say thank you very much.
By the way, we're distributing champagne and cups for a champagne toast. At the center of each of the tables is chocolate-covered fruit, apples, strawberries, and pineapples, thank you. Yeah. And we're still selling raffle tickets, so it's going up as we speak. We are definitely drawing the raffle, though. We're not waiting forever. So next up on our agenda, we have the presentation of the A.J. Tachi-Taronis Business of the Year Award, and that is going to the Elmhurst Independent. They didn't even applaud for themselves. No, hang on. Covering the Elmhurst community since 2002, the Independent is part of the Rockford area-based Rock Valley Publishing, a family-owned and operated business that also publishes weekly newspapers in Addison, Bensonville, Lombard, Villa Park. Pete Kruger is the publisher of the Elmhurst Independent and co-owner of Rock Valley Publishing with his brother Jack. Their great-grandfather and grandfather bought the Elmhurst Press, and their father Melvin, who I worked for back in the day as sports editor of the Elmhurst Press, added Villa Park and Lombard on his way to 7 newspapers before Pete and his brother Jack expanded the chain to 38 newspapers. Even after the Kruger family sold Press Publications, you can't get the ink out of Pete's blood. The moment his non-compete clause was up, he jumped back in with the Elmhurst Independent, and they've been operating in our community ever since. Would you congratulate our 2018 A.J. Tachi-Taronis Business of the Year, the Elmhurst Independent. Pete? Along with Dee Longfellow and Debbie Hamilton. And Pete, I'll have you know, we hired a photographer in case you couldn't find one for tonight, so there'd be a photo in the paper. First, Kevin, would you? Ladies? Slide on over.
It's yours. I'm in there.
Go ahead, Pete.
Sure. Thank you. I want to say thank you, John, and also say thanks to Ken. And this is a great honor. And I'd like to thank a few people that helped start our business more than 16 years ago. First, I wanted to thank Debbie Hamilton. We started our business at her kitchen table. Yep. Our first office was her house, and she's been incredibly helpful. I'd also like to thank our first editor, Dee Longfellow. Dee is a hard worker, and she's kept us laughing for 16 years straight. And I'd like to thank my children, Matt and Kathleen. They helped launch the newspaper when they were still in high school. Our Chamber of Commerce started 100 years ago, and I'm fortunate that my great-grandfather moved to Elmhurst and joined the Chamber 96 years ago.
Wow.
I think about it a lot, and my grandfather was president of the Chamber 95 years ago. So their love and appreciation for our great city has lasted 5 generations. I'll keep this short. I've asked Dee to kind of split my speech with me. Oh, no. Yep. Now, Dee occasionally goes off script, and I get a little worried. So what I did is I've written the speech for her. Yeah. So Dee, here we go.
Okay. Hi. Thank you for this nice honor. Thank you, Pete, and thank you to the Chamber of Commerce and all of you here in this room. But I'm here to tell you, I do very little at the newspaper. It's Pete that does most everything. I'm more or less just a figurehead. I spend most of my time flitting around town taking people out for 3 martini lunches.
Thank you, Dee.
Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is just not true. Everybody knows I drink margaritas at lunch. Actually, Pete is really a great guy to work for and a fine publisher. And the fact that he's one smart cookie and his hair is always perfect. Wait a minute. I'm not using that anymore. Should we just get to the joke? So a guy is driving his car, kind of rolls through a stop sign, doesn't stop. And a policeman's there, so he pulls him over. He said, "Hey, do you know why I pulled you over?" "Well, not really." "Well, you didn't stop. You didn't come to a full stop at that stop sign." "Well, I slowed down and there was nobody coming. I mean, it's not really a big deal if you slow down." He says, "You don't think it's a big deal if you slow down? You think that's the same thing as stopping?" "Well, yeah, usually." "Could you step out of the car, sir?" Police officer pulls out his billy club and starts beating the guy and beating the guy and beating the guy. "You want me to slow down or stop?"
That's good. That was good. That was good. I like it. All right. Are we done? I think we're done.
Thank you.
Okay, so 1 year ago at this event, we opened our Split the Pot raffle, whose proceeds will benefit our Second Century Fund. The Second Century Fund was organized to assist us in ensuring the financial success of the Chamber for the next century. Our total is now over $4,400, and we are ready to draw the winning ticket. Just one. Who thinks they have it? Hopefully everyone here.
They're already stirred up. Julie's going to pick the ticket. We'll go look the winner up while you guys do a nice champagne toast. The one right on the top. No, to your left. No, to your other left. And
That
we're
is
going to
the winning
go find
ticket.
out who won.
Okay, feel free to make sure everyone's champagne is poured. Everyone should have a glass, and from the bottles that have been put on the table. So, as John stated earlier, in 1918, a group of Elmhurst businessmen gathered around someone's dining room table, and they formed the Elmhurst Boosters. John knows, he was there. Oh, wait, sorry. In 1937, they changed it to the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry. That's where John was, I think. And actually, they changed it to Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce, and in 1985, they added the words "and industry," in which John Quigley was actually there. We may not know those gentlemen's thoughts or reasons for forming the Elmhurst Boosters, but I'm glad that they did. I like to think that they would be proud of our Elmhurst citizens, businessmen and women, and all of our chamber supporters. And Ken, if you would join us on stage for the champagne toast, please. So, everyone, raise your glass. On behalf of, there's John. On behalf of all of us at the Chamber, thank you very much to everyone for your support and recognition of our first 100 years. Here's to the future of the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and its next 100. Cheers. Great champagne, Kevin.
We have a winner.
Special thank you to Kevin Cost of Edward Jones for the champagne. And also thank you to Betsy Hanisch for the wonderful fruit-dipped chocolates that are on your table. And now, to reveal the winner of our Split the Pot raffle.
Our winning ticket number is 601319. Oh, that's right. None of you have tickets. We kept them all. The winner is actually in the room.
Hey!
The winner is one of our event sponsor. The winner works at Suburban Bank and Trust. Andrea Prokresky, where are you? You are the winner. We will be getting you a check for your 50%. Congratulations.
And suddenly, everyone knows who's going to pay for the next 3 martini lunch. Or margaritas. Banker's choice. As everyone knows, these wonderful events require a lot of planning, and they are never organized by just one person. As chair of the Centennial Celebration Committee, I would like to thank my committee members, which are comprised of our executive committee, Kevin Cost and Lori Murray, thank you, as well as Betsy Hanisch and Tim Gurry. They met at least every month, if not more than that, for over 14 months to make sure that our centennial year really came together. So thank you very much for all of your time. I would also like to thank all of our chamber subcommittees and our board of directors, and especially thank the hardworking chamber staff of Kim and Mariella and our interns. Thank you for all that you do behind the scenes. Also, please recognize our great crew from Elmhurst, our kind of town. They consistently film and publish great shows for us, and next month you will be able to see this program on the cable channels as well as YouTube, so thank you. Lastly, I'd like to thank the Drake Hotel and Jim Nagel for hosting us in this beautiful room, as well as chamber members Pat at Merle Norman and Debbie from My Friend's Place for putting together this tonight. This concludes our program for the evening. Thank you to everyone for attending tonight and for your relentless support of our chamber. Please stay and enjoy the food, the champagne, the chocolates, the camaraderie, and of course the bar outside, which is starting karaoke. Thank you.
I'm John Quigley, President and CEO of the Elmhurst Chamber of Commerce and Industry. For 100 years and counting, we've promoted an environment that creates success for local businesses and our community. Nearly 600 members strong, we are the voice of business in Elmhurst at all levels of government and a liaison to our residents, consumers, and tourists.
Since 1982.
1981.
1993.
1948.
Since 1955.
1892.
1991.
Since 1986.
1871.
We're here to help our customers' lives go right.
We put our customers and community first.
And innovation in relocation for 2 generations.
Serving our community more than just great meals.
We create innovation in glass and metals.
We permanently solve your IRS problems.
4 generations of family dedication, forever invested in you.
We keep families rolling safely down the road.
For generations, we've helped students reach their full potential.
4 generations of serving the best Bohemian cuisine.
Make that 5.
So make today the day that you become a valued addition to our award-winning chamber, whether as a new member or via reactivation. Contact our office by phone at 630-834-6060 or email info@elmhurstchamber.org to learn about what's in it for you. Be a part of our next 100 years.